Elsa woke up in a panic and found that. She approached carefully to check. It wasn't until she got close to the window that, issuing an emergency alert, Elsa turned around and received a strange phone call. Then she took her son and left the room. However, the scene outside the door, everyone was scrambling to escape, to move upward. Yet the stairs were badly overcrowded. For another exit. Soon, Elsa found another staircase, by debris, so Elsa told her son to stay put. She climbed up first to check the situation. She made it to the 4th floor with her son. Just then, she heard someone calling her name. The man was Jack, who had called her earlier. Elsa looked down and found that Tom was gone. Panic washed over her like a flood. She frantically searched everywhere. She walked into the apartment, shouting Tom's name. At that moment, she saw the scene outside the window. Enormous waves were rolling in, crashing straight toward the building. She lost control and was swept into the water. Elsa held her son tightly, striving with all her strength to swim toward the door. She touched the doorknob, using her last bit of strength to try to open the door. Critical moment. Luckily, Jack rescued them in time. Jack reported Elsa and her son's situation, then prepared to take them to the rooftop. Jack explained the truth behind the disaster. About 3 hours ago, an asteroid had hit Antarctica. Half of Japan was already submerged. If the disaster couldn't be stopped, humanity was doomed to extinction. Would die. She was just working in an AI development lab, but in reality, her real mission was to create a brand new human race. Elsa was shocked. How could she possibly take on such a task? Jack continued explaining. Only 2 researchers in the team had successfully developed the AI emotion engine. Their first choice was Elsa's supervisor, Chief Researcher Lin Xianmu. He and his child had been swept away by the flood, presumed dead. So now Elsa was the only option. A helicopter would take her to a shelter. Someone there would tell her exactly what to do. Elsa anxiously said. She didn't know much about this. Jack kept pressing her. Other teams had already completed their research. They'd created humanoid bodies, with intelligence and reproductive capabilities. The only thing missing was the emotion engine. You must understand you're humanity's last hope. In this heavy atmosphere, Tom suddenly spoke up and called Mommy. Tom said he needed to use the bathroom. Jack took them to an empty house first. He reported their progress to his superiors in the meantime. After hanging up the phone, Jack suddenly asked about the emotion engine. He said Tom was just an experimental data point. His words cut like a cold knife, revealing the true face of human nature in the face of disaster. She wanted to argue but couldn't. Suddenly, a gas explosion sealed the corridor with flames, completely blocking the way upstairs. Jack made a quick decision to go around the fire from the outside. Jack climbed up successfully and leaned down from above. Elsa lifted Tom up, pushing her son toward Jack with all her strength. She herself accidentally fell down. Fortunately, Elsa survived once again. She entered the corridor. Just then, she heard cries for help from an elevator. Elsa swam to the elevator door, but couldn't open it with her bare hands. Elsa had to find a tool. When she reached the 1st floor, she saw 2 men, ransacking every house for valuables. They pried open doors, stuffing valuable things into bags. This was the ugliest side of disaster. Elsa didn't want any trouble with them. She quietly backed away, but by then, the water downstairs was almost submerging the elevator. Just then, a loud roar came from the distance. Another tsunami hit. Elsa was swept away by the current, tumbling in the murky water. At that moment, the scene suddenly flashed back. It was a memory from long ago. A car plunged into the water. Elsa struggled desperately, escaping from the car, but her husband was still trapped inside. She held Tom tightly and refused to let go. Elsa tried to pull her husband out, but he insisted on rescuing Tom first. He unbuckled Tom's seatbelt, trying to get the child out. Just as he was about to escape the car, his leg got stuck. Elsa tried to save him, but her husband pushed her away with his last strength. The scene returned to the present. Elsa surfaced. That memory was so clear in her mind. She couldn't lose Tom again. After reuniting with Jack, Elsa found something even worse had happened. Tom had a seizure, but his medicine had been lost in the chaos earlier. Jack told her to get on the helicopter first and figure things out later. They had to leave immediately, but Elsa refused to listen. She had to find the medicine. Jack's words cut like a knife. revealing the truth Elsa had been avoiding all along. Tom wasn't an ordinary child. He was a being that could be backed up and rebuilt. That was the essence of the Emotion Engine project. But everything was different now. After 5 years of living together day and night, this child was no longer just a program. She couldn't bear to let the child in her arms die. Elsa held Tom and rushed into a house. She found orange juice and salt in the kitchen. Maybe they could help Tom hold on longer. She fed Tom, gently comforting her son. Soon, Tom recovered. Just then, Elsa noticed the sun had come out. Warm light streamed through the window. It was the first ray of sunshine since the disaster began, like a sign of hope. After some time, it suddenly started pouring rain again. A low roar came from the distance. Jack suddenly turned to look out the window. His face turned pale instantly. The second tsunami was coming. Jack quickly took them to the rooftop. The three of them rushed upstairs as fast as they could. They had to leave right away. Then they left with Jack. Soon after, the sound of a helicopter came from above. Rescue had finally arrived. Elsa wiped her tears, picked Tom up on her back again. She decided to trust Jack's judgment. Maybe the Darwin Center would let her take Tom with her. Maybe they would realize how important Tom was. Newman 77 was Tom's project code name. That code sent Elsa's heart sinking to the bottom. Jack had lied to her. The Darwin Center planned to take Tom apart. Jack had deliberately tricked her into going to the rooftop, so the Darwin Center could finish their mission smoothly. As a researcher on the Emotion Engine project, she knew better than anyone. She knew why Tom had been created. She knew the Darwin Center would never let any valuable test subject slip away. But facing it head-on was a different story. Those 5 years of daily life had long made it impossible for her to see Tom as just cold experimental data. She knelt on the ground, crying, begging them to spare Tom. But it was useless, because all mission personnel had to perish with the Great Flood. Only Elsa and her technology would be taken to space, because humanity needed her to survive. Elsa slowly stood up and wiped her tears, whispered a few words in Tom's ear, then turned and walked toward the plane. Just as she passed by, Jack fell to the ground in a pool of blood. He looked at Elsa's departing figure and stopped breathing. Elsa boarded the helicopter. The staff sealed Tom's data. The pilot reported via walkie-talkie that the test subject's data extraction was complete. The helicopter flew away from the rooftop. Below, the entire world was submerged, floating like an island in the vast floodwaters. The helicopter landed near the launch pad. Elsa was transferred to a rocket. Just as the rocket was about to launch, another huge tsunami swept in from the distance. It was the true doomsday wave, more powerful than any before. Soon after, a man's voice sounded. He introduced himself as Bob, director of the LE laboratory. Since Elsa had joined temporarily, she needed to be briefed on the mission again. He said tens of thousands of meteorite fragments would hit Earth in 15 minutes. By then, most life forms on Earth would be extinct. The Darwin Center had launched 7 rockets from launch sites around the world that morning, and now, they were humanity's last survivors. Bob continued. Now humanity had to evolve. They had to use existing knowledge and technology to survive in the world after the Great Flood. And their team was responsible for creating the emotional model of mother and child. They could create humanoid bodies at the LE laboratory they were heading to. But the human heart, meaning the emotion engine, could only be realized by Elsa. Now the child's emotional model was complete. Only the mother's remained. Bob asked Elsa how she planned to create the mother's emotional model. Elsa proposed her experimental design. It was the final bet for humanity's survival, and what this experiment could create was a perfect motherly emotional model that could endure countless failures and never give up. By making the mother fail and restart countless times, letting her keep trying in despair, every failure would be recorded until she found the optimal solution. The 787th time, Jack pulled Elsa out of the water. Someone else reported via radio that Elsa was still alive, but Newman 77 was missing. He told Elsa the helicopter would land on the rooftop, urging her to leave immediately, but Elsa refused again. Her child had fallen into the water. She had to find him. This thought was an instinct engraved in her bones. Jack said he knew where Tom was. This clue gave Elsa hope. She rushed upstairs right away, shouting Tom's name. But after searching the entire floor, she couldn't find her son anywhere. Tom had vanished into thin air. This helplessness almost broke her. The number on Elsa's clothes had turned to 1931, but she still knew nothing about it, only feeling her body growing more and more tired, and the unease in her heart growing stronger. Elsa dived into the flooded floor, hearing a child's cry from the elevator again. It was Lena. Elsa called her name directly. Lena was very surprised. Elsa didn't explain. Elsa told her to wait. Elsa took a deep breath, dived into the water, clawing at the elevator door with all her strength. Her vision blurred. Her body slowly sank in the water. Another death. The 4007th time. This time, Elsa was smarter. She searched the floor for tools first. She found a crowbar. She finally pried the elevator door open successfully, rescuing Lena. Elsa found clean clothes for Lena to change into. She comforted Lena that everyone should have evacuated to the rooftop. Grandpa would be there. She told Lena she was looking for her missing child. She warned Lena to be careful and prepare to leave. She didn't know why she was telling this child all this, but she said she would die soon after leaving here. She described what Tom looked like. If Lena ever saw this child in the future, please tell Tom his mom was looking for him. Just then, scratching sounds came from upstairs, along with the clanging of metal. Elsa said they had to leave immediately. Lena told her to be careful. Elsa followed the sounds, hearing the dull thuds of men fighting. A scene suddenly flashed through Elsa's mind. It was the 4006th time she had been dragged around in that room. This time, Elsa was cautious. She searched for a weapon at the door before going in. She was spotted by the thugs as she came out. At that moment, images flashed in Elsa's mind. She had once fed medicine to a dead person in this room. Those memories were so clear, yet felt like they were behind a fog. She prepared to keep looking for Tom. Elsa turned to Lena, telling her to come with her. But Lena insisted she would be fine. She wanted to stay with her grandparents. Elsa said this place would be completely submerged soon. They couldn't stay here. Lena asked Elsa if she wasn't the same. She wouldn't abandon Tom either, right? Elsa had no reply. Lena said calmly she would stay here. Yes. She had urged Lena to survive rationally, but here she was, unable to rationally abandon her responsibility. This was motherly love, unwilling to give up even when knowing failure was likely. Two people, two echoes of motherly love. Lena refused to leave her grandparents. Elsa refused to give up on Tom. Just then, Jack received a phone call. He confirmed to the caller, saying he could personally take Elsa there. Elsa asked if she would find her child when they got there. The caller gave an affirmative answer. After hanging up, Jack turned to Elsa, telling her more people from his team were coming by boat. He suggested going upstairs first. Elsa turned to look for Tom again, suddenly remembering Tom wanted her to see his drawings. Drawings she had never looked at. She opened her phone to check the photos. At that moment, all memories came flooding back. This was all an experiment. The real Tom had already been taken apart. Everything now, the flood, the escape, the search, was happening in a virtual space. She had experienced tens of thousands of failures, but even knowing the truth, she had to keep looking, because in this virtual space, Tom was still waiting for her. The scene suddenly flashed back to that memory from the real world. Elsa held Tom and whispered in his ear. She asked Tom if he saw the wardrobe behind him, telling him to hide there. She promised she would come back for him, and Tom had been waiting ever since. Elsa burst into tears after hearing that. On the space station, Bob asked if she was okay. Elsa opened her eyes filled with determination. She was certain Tom was waiting for her. The GT9 device activated. Elsa closed her eyes. The device started operating. Bob informed her that other teams had been notified. According to her request, they would extract the memories of both her and the child, then transmit them to the LE laboratory. The experiment would be based on these transmitted memories. If this experiment succeeded, new humans would return to Earth. Suddenly, gunshots rang out in the distance. They had come to take Tom away again, but this time, Elsa would not let them succeed. She held Tom tightly, running to the edge of the building. Elsa told Tom to jump down and swim to the iron tower in the water far away. Mom would hold them off. Tom hesitated, unwilling to leave. Elsa urged him to go quickly. Mom would catch up, telling him to trust her. Tom turned and jumped off the rooftop into the water, swimming desperately toward the distant iron tower. Armed men rushed over to catch Tom. Elsa fought them off with all her might. At that moment, the scene suddenly changed. Golden data particles poured down, like rain, like streams of code. Everything turned into glowing particles. A baby's cry rang out. Elsa held Tom for the first time. At that moment, Elsa's heart melted. What followed was a warm time of raising him, feeding him, bathing him. Tom laughed happily in the water. Tom suddenly called Mom clearly. Elsa froze, tears streaming down her face. 5 years of time, every day filled with love. Those warm hugs. Elsa thought she was carrying out a scientific mission, but unknowingly, she had given the most genuine motherly love. She broke free with all her strength one last time, breaking free from those digital restraints. The world was collapsing. The golden data flood engulfed everything. Just as everything was about to disappear, she jumped, leaping out of the abyss of golden data streams. Elsa surfaced from the water. She swam toward the iron tower. Tom was there, clinging tightly to the iron frame. Elsa swam to his side, holding him tightly. This time, she had kept her promise. This time, she had truly found him. Finally came to an end. The experiment succeeded. New humans were already on their way home. When the new humans set foot on Earth, and civilization restarted, they would remember that it was love that gave humanity a new life.